And here we are, folks, for the first race, not official, not a points race. It is an official race, but not a points race. Here for Season 3 of the Gillette Cup Series. Already Season 3, guys. Wow. Yeah, so we're here for the shootout, the Budweiser Shootout. That is what I'm calling it. Yeah, so this shall be a fun race, I believe. Excuse me for a second, I need to sneeze. Alright, I thought I had to sneeze and then I went to go sneeze. Anyways, we're here, and lots of changes during this off season. A whole bunch of changes, as we can all see. And this is the first ever shootout, I believe, we've ever had. Looking back, we had the duels. Yeah, so this is the first shootout. So this is comprised, the drivers who qualified, they had to have a poll. That was the first one. And then after that, we only had like 7-8 people. So the officials said champions, Bobby and the 7 of Daniel, who's starting on the outside, only had like 9. And so we said the rest of the chase drivers. And so we have 17 drivers here tonight. Starting on pole, we have Catherine Tellier in the 70, sporting a new scheme this season. Daniel Maxwell, his team moved over to Mitsubishi. I don't think I said that right. And will be driving the 7 Hot Wheels still. Bobby Fraser starting his own team in Camping Motorsports. Colin Lindsay still in the 3. Joshua Jones, new paint scheme, new manufacturer as well. Mike Tolan, a new paint scheme and new number. James Richardson still in the 6. William Brock in the 26, moved from the 99 to the 26, and will carry Gran Turismo as well as Poly Digital still. Dejon Weeks with Rockstar Energy on the hood this year, and in a Ford Mustang instead of Fusion. Matt Johnson and the new 2016 Ford, still the 28 car. JT Bryant full-time now at the 24, and will carry this MAV TV for the Daytona Speed Weeks. Chris Dodd moved over to the 8 and is in the Wrangler today, but he shares this with one other scheme. Matthew Brown in the 10. GameStop still on board, new sponsor still, or new paint scheme and manufacturer, just like his teammates. Keith Batson now, instead of Sprite, he's carrying Fanta. Chester Harvey still in the 35. John Andrews, some new sponsors. He's got Mountain Dew for this race. He still has Dogecoin. If you look at this car, he's got a bunch of sponsors because his team is loaded with sponsors this season. And then Joseph Romanak and a new team who just started, and in a new car, the 84 Hot Topic car. So let's go ahead and get the command. I know we've been waiting all off season for this. We're starting on the backstretch because why not? And here we go.
Drivers, start your engines.
Hopefully y'all could hear that, and the cars are going to roll off very, very shortly here. Here they go. So, engines were fired for the first time in Season 3. We'll be right back. Alright, so we come back. Very quick break because it's not full pace laps this time around. Yeah, so we have 42 full-time drivers, 1 part-time driver, and that's as of right now. Of course, anyone can always join, but 17 here tonight. These are the best of the best who have been in the series for 1 or more years already. Missing some really good drivers who did not make it. Zednick Price, John Arndt, Garrett Sidnor, Cody Smart, just a few who did not make it. Yeah, no rookies in the field, of course. So here we go. Catherine Tellier is going to lead us here for 24 laps here under the lights at Daytona. Green flag is out here. And it looked like Catherine Tellier was going to lead lap 1. But here comes Joshua Jones at the line. I think it's going to be Joshua. He's going to lead lap 1 of the shootout. the Budweiser Shootout. 17 drivers. With 3 wide all throughout the pack. Dejon Weeks now getting a push from the 10 car. Dejon Weeks owning this 21. He's now going full time. Philip Goldberg last season drove this for a couple races at the beginning of the season. Now full time will be Dejon Weeks. His new teammate Cole Baker, who's in the 4, and the 12 of Cody Smart still. Bobby Fraser since he left DW Motorsports. But now here comes the 10 of Matthew Brown with help from John Andrews. John started in the back. He's already working his way up. Last lap he was 11th, and he's going for the race lead from 11th to 1st in 1 lap. John Andrews in this 48 car. He has come. He wants to prove a lot to his owners, Carson Scott and John Arndt, who merged their teams together. John Andrews, there's been talks around John Andrews being the weaker link. They brought in a new driver, Johnny Gardner, very high racer. Like, he's up there. Johnny's a really good driver. They're happy. Carson and John are happy. Well, Carson as in me. And that is why I am part-time this season. I will not be in every race. Only the restrictor plate races and maybe another 1 or 2. But with charters this season, I'm pretty sure everyone in this field is chartered. I'm not really going to look and make sure, but I'm pretty sure they are. As we know, there's no rookies. But, yeah, everyone in here should be chartered. And so these drivers will be battling for the championship this year. Of course, people who aren't chartered can battle for the championship. But as of right now, every race will have 2 people go home. For the 500, we're having 3 people go home. 43 people entered. And only 40 make every race. As you see, Chris Dodd on the outside is getting a great push from that 48. The 5 of Joshua Jones already found his way to get back on the inside lane right here. He's got help from William Brock, winner from last season. And now you see Matt Johnson moves up. Matthew Johnson's actually won at Daytona before. It was a dual race. And he also won the Pensacola race last season. Another restrictor plate. And you see Chris Dodd, he's got that outside lane kind of working. He wants John to close in just a little bit. You see the inside lane's more formed than that outside lane, as it looks like Daniel Maxwell has fallen all the way to the back. That's last year's champion. Him and Bobby Fraser got the champion pass. Well, Bobby had a pole, so Daniel technically got the championship pass for this race, but they both will always be able to make every Unlimited, as now the 24 is going to go up front. This JT Bryant making his first full-time start. He started the last couple races for Arndt's team last season, but now that they're JA Motorsports, or JA Racing, they're JA Racing last season, now they're AS Racing. Arndt and Scott, me and John. And we might be having John in the booth sometimes, so that would be fun. Some races he won't be in, and we can ask him how the car is doing and all that. Always looking if anyone ever wants to co-commentate. That would be amazing. As now we see Colin Lindsay getting a push from the Camping Motorsports car, the Google Chrome, or just Google, of that is, yeah, that's Bobby Fraser, your Season 1 champion. And now you see Season 1, Season 2 champion Bobby and Daniel Maxwell working together on this inside. Could we have a repeat champion this year? Bobby's talked about last season. It wasn't his best season. He really wants to come back. He really wants to come back. Just get it. Daniel Maxwell, of course, the rookie winning it last season. This year we only have a few rookies. We have 11 rookies, and only 5 are chartered. So that will be very fun to watch the Rookie of the Year battle. As now it's Chester Harvey. Joseph Romanok actually led that lap, who's won at Daytona. He won the night Daytona race last year. So we're still going here. Kathleen Tellier now is going to get moved out the way from Dejon Weeks, Matthew Brown. And look at this pack of cars. We got Joshua in the back. We got Matthew Brown up front. That's JJ Motorsports, Mitsubishi's this year. Of course, everyone knows next year we are going to the old school bodies, 2012 bodies of NASCAR. If anyone watches NASCAR, so we're going to be using those bodies, and only 4 manufacturers. We have Dodge, Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. Those are the only 4 everyone can be. So it will be very fun to see all the new paint schemes. We've had John already test some. John's kind of the guinea pig of the series. We're getting a little stacked up back here, it might look like. Could we see some trouble here? These drivers want to win badly, but it still has plenty of time left in the race. Trying to get a better angle. Keith Batson now is going to try to go to the race lead for the first time today, I believe. And he's got no help, though. He's got really no help. Now here comes Chris Dodd with a huge head of steam. Will Chris jump on his inside and maybe take advantage? I don't think so. Coming in through the tri-oval. I think Matthew Brown's got the run on the outside. No, Keith, that would have been an epic finish. There it goes. It had the 8 car has the leader. I was like, whoa. So 3 wide. Lots of passing going on here in the shootout. Chris Dodd's definitely one of the favorites. He has been up front all day as he's now making it 3 wide down the backstretch for the race lead. He's got a huge gap to Bobby Fraser, but I don't think it matters because once Bobby catches that pack of air is going to give Chris a huge push out front. And through the tri-oval once again, Chris Dodd, I don't think he led that lap. I think it was a 10. It was. And now Bobby says, you know what, Chris, you're not going. Let me get on the inside of you. No, Chris is actually going to shut the door maybe. Bobby's trying to get on the inside. Here comes Bobby now with help from JT Bryant, Mike Tolan in the 46 this season, John Andrews. We got some moving in the back. That's Colin trying to find the best line to go with. And look at the 10 of Matthew Brown. Can he clear all 3 lanes? He's going to clear Chris. He's thinking about going. He's not going to have enough momentum, though, for Bobby. And Matthew, he was thinking about going down. He's not going to go down. He's going to stay up top once again. Now he's going to jump down to the middle lane. Does he have enough momentum to go to the bottom lane? He is now leading all 3 lines. Matthew Brown, that is, in the 10. Next time by is halfway. We've yet to see a caution. We've yet to see pit stops. What's going to happen in the second half of this race? So you look, everyone is 3 wide except Daniel and Matthew Brown. Matthew is leading all 3 lanes. You see Chris jumps to that high side. He's going to have a run here. Does he try to go on the inside? I don't think so. And now, oh, here comes Chris. Now for the race lead. Chris Dodd once again on the inside of Matthew Brown. Matthew's car is strong. We normally don't see drivers on the outside lane get such a run like he did to be able to take the race lead and lead all 3 lanes. But now Chris is kind of by himself. He's going to have the 30 and the 39, but who's he going to go with? He jumps down. He's going to squeeze the pack of air, and he actually can't hold it. Bobby Fraser now is coming on the 30 car. We are now halfway. We've seen no cautions, no pit stops. What will happen? Matthew Brown, Chester Harvey, such a great pusher. Look at him pushing Matthew Brown back to the front. That's a Chevy and a Mitsubishi working together. Mitsubishi right now leading 3 Chevys at bay. And then it's Chevy, Ford Mustang, though, that is, of Dejon Weeks on the outside. We're going to go on board with Chris Dodd for a little bit. There he goes to the inside, trying to take the lead once again. And we went on board, but you know what? It looks more intense like this. I'm not sure when we'll see pit stops, by the way. This is a new Daytona track if no one has noticed. The other ones, They had that weird pit glitch where you got on pit road, you were stuck. You didn't see that. Yeah, so I decided to use a new one. And now Bobby's going to have the momentum. He has the push. But look at this 10 down the backstretch. He always seems to have the better push down the backstretch. Someone lose it? No. And 10 once again is going to be in control of all 3 lanes. We have calmed down from all the lead changes. It looks like no one can really get around this 10 car as of right now. He is blocking all 3 lanes. It is Bobby, Chris Dodd, Chester Harvey, 3 wide for second. And they I think Chris is really the only driver who can compete with Matthew Brown right now. Look at JT. Is he trying to take a look under Bobby Fraser? There's not a lot of room to go 4 wide here at Daytona. That's when we see a lot of problems. And now Chris actually is going to jump to the very outside, try to get the run on the 10 once again through 3 and 4. And is he going to jump on the inside once again like he's been doing? He is. So Chris has it worked out, but then this 10 car backs up. He gets enough momentum to catch the 35. The air closes in and just gives the 10 such a put. Actually, that time it did not. Chris led that lap. So that's going to be interesting. Who can time that better when it comes down to the last lap? And, of course, since this is a special race, if we have a caution, this race has to end under green. So if we have a caution, of course, we will round them up and have a green-white checkered till it's a finish that we want. So now this 10 car does not have the momentum like he's been having down the backstretch. Bobby Fraser, though, with JT, could they make something? Here comes Bobby Fraser, guys. The Daytona 500 pole sitter from last season. The Season 1 champion. Driving the 91 last season. Now on his own team, going back to Chevy. He drove Chevy his first year when he won the champion. No, he did not. Can't remember what he drove. It wasn't the it was the 16. So he's always driven a Ford. He's a Chevy this year, so very interesting. So we're looking on only a few laps to go. Now Chris Dodd wants to get on this inside. He's now actually going to try to go with Bobby Fraser. Can Bobby and Chris, and is Chris, I thought Bobby was going to try to make a move on the inside of Chris. But now this 10 we know is going to have the run down the backstretch, Matthew Brown. With 6 laps to go here at Daytona. Now Chris moves to the middle lane. Here comes Bobby once again with help from the 24. We're going to go on board with Bobby. You see the 10 car on the outside gets such a big run. The outside's where you want to be for the run down the backstretch. But now the 8 couldn't have made a move. Could not make the move. And Bobby Fraser, no, the 10's going to go down. He's going to block all 3 lanes still. Oh, we heard some scraping. No wreck yet. No, still no wrecks. Calm down here these last about 10 laps now. It is just the 10 of Matthew Brown blocking all 3 lanes. Chris can get there sometimes. Sometimes he can't. He's going on the outside this time. That's going to force the 10 car to go to the outside. It's going to stop the momentum. And no, he's actually going to catch the 8 car. And the 8's probably going to make the move through 3 and 4 he's been making all race long. He just cannot clear this 10 car. If he can clear the 10 car somehow before they get to the back straightaway, I think Chris could have a chance at maybe staying in front of the 10 car. But the 35 is just such a good pusher. At the line, it's Chris Dodd once again with just 4 laps to go now. See, this 10, he's got help from the 35. The 39's not closing in on the 8 car like he should be. And now Chris is actually going to run this middle lane with the 30 and the 39. But this 10... Can he clear the 10 off of 2? That's what he needs to do. He cannot this time. The 10's going to have the run down the backstretch. He's not going to have the biggest run like we've been seeing all race long. And the 8's actually going to stay side by side with him. And now it's actually going to be 3 wide. Bobby's up here now. And there's a wreck. The wreck at the end. JT's around. That was for second. But at the line is going to be Matthew Brown. And who's all involved? The 6, the 70, the 26. And I believe we're going to have to go to a green-white checkered, guys. JT got spun. Dejon Weeks. All the pushers, it looks like, were involved. We are going to go to a green-white checkered for sure, so stay tuned. We're going to have to come right back. We're going to go check that out, come right back. I got to make sure all the order's all set up, so we'll be right back here. We'll watch the wreck, and then we'll be back for a 2-lap shootout. So I'm not sure how we didn't notice it, but down the front stretch, JT actually made a 4-wide move back here. I did not notice it, but going into 3 and 4, coming off of 4, the 24, the 28 pins the 24 up into the 6. The 6 spin just catches that 24 here. Catches the 24. They collect Dejon Weeks. And I believe everyone's going to be able to continue, so everyone's going to be in the green-white checkered. But you see the 24 goes around. Let's not fast forward that. 70 goes around the 62. I think they have a little damage. Shouldn't affect too much. Let's go on board with the 70 through that wreck. Just a little damage. I think they all hit pit stop. They all hit pit road though before. So not a big wreck. They're all going to be able to continue, I believe. So we're going to be right back for the green-white checkered. I'm not going to show any pit stops because I'm just going to jump straight to the 2-lap shootout. And as we come back, we're here for the green-white checkered. Mwahahaha. Matthew Brown out front. The ticker will not come on till the last lap, by the way. We know it's 2 laps. If we get a caution before the white flag, I'll line them up or do it again. Everyone hit pit road. No, I'm kidding. Only the people in the back hit pit road. Everyone stayed out. Everyone is good on fuel. We talked to the 10's crew chief, the 8, the 30's crew chief. All of them said good on fuel. All of them ready for this 2-lap shootout. We saw last time on the start how much changing up front happened. The 10's been dominant. The 8's been dominant. Green flag's out. 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Who wins it? We know the 30 is hungry. The 39's hungry. The 35 is a great pusher, but this time he's pushing the 8 instead of the 10. The 10, though, has the inside lane, which is the preferred lane on the restarts. Now, it looks like the 30 is going to be trying to set up a move off turn 2 to try to pass the 10 car. The 10's trying to go up high to block the 8. That allows the 30 to come, and he's got help from the 39. But now, look, here comes Matt Johnson with help from Daniel Maxwell, the Season 2 champion. Here he comes, and now Matthew Johnson, the 2-time restrictor plate winner. One was for a points race, one was just a duel. Now it looks like we knew this restart was going to be crazy. Matthew Johnson was stuck all back there. White flag's out now for Matthew Johnson. Who wins it? Here comes Daniel Maxwell, Season 2 champion. Does he continue where he left off in a dominating fashion? Dominating, I just mean winning. He hasn't dominated this race at all. He hung out in the back. There was a caution. He took advantage. But here comes William Brock, the Charlotte winner from last season. He has no room on the inside. He now finds a gap. He's going to have the 6 pushing. The 6 actually is going to move up. That's going to allow a 4-wide move back here. The 26, I don't think, is having the run. He's trying to get the help from the 70 car. Off turn 4. They're 4 wide for 3rd. Here comes William Brock off turn 4. William Brock off turn 4. Does he have enough momentum? Matthew Johnson up high. At the line it's going to be... It was too close. I think it was William. It was Matthew Johnson. Matthew Johnson won it 3 wide at the line. 4 wide for 4th. How did they not wreck? I don't know. And Matthew Brown fell all the way back to 10th. Chris Dodd will finish all the way back in 13th. We are going to go replay that epic finish real quick, or we'll just show a photo. Congratulations to Matthew Johnson, not William Brock. I was gonna say William Brock, but no, Matthew Johnson won it. The 4 wide, 3 wide, and look, the 6 and 84. Joseph Romanok and James Richardson still side by side banging. Maybe some tensions, but wow, I believe this 500 is gonna be a great one. If that was the finish to just a shootout. Matthew Johnson stays out to do his lap around. And so does the 10. Maybe the 10, he should have won it. Alright, thank you guys for watching. You're going to see Matthew Johnson's burnouts very soon. We'll be right back. And there's the finish. You can see clearly the 28s won it, as we're going to go on board with the 26 looking out his side. He's not yet at the line, we can see. But if we look out to the side, you see the 28s at the line. The 7s not at the line. And look at this pack. We have 4 wide right here in the middle, all the way back. The 8 and the 10 just did not have the momentum at the end. And look at these. Some of these drivers were involved in the wreck. I think that whole inside lane was involved in that wreck. So, congratulations to Matt Johnson. His burnout's coming up right here.